In case you have not gotten the hint by now, I have watched a lot of TV shows in my lifetime, and those shows appear on channels. Some channels have stood the test of time since my childhood, such as Cartoon Network, Boomerang, Nickelodeon, Nicktoons, but a lot haven't. One channel has been haunting me for over a decade now, and I think it needs to be brought to light. I've been making the end of the era videos for almost a year now, starting with CITV, a British kids channel that recently shut down, and most recently Tiny Pop, which went fully online. But today we're going to be covering the first channel death I ever witnessed. Welcome to the fallen soldier that was Jetix. Actually, before Jetix, there was the Fox Kids channel, which started on September the 8th, 1990. It was originally a Saturday morning and weekend programming block on Fox's channels that aired shows like Bobby's World, Peter Pan and the Pirates. Additionally, it also aired an animated show based on Little Shop of Horror. One of the most key parts of Fox Kids was Saban's production, which produced and distributed a lot of Fox Kids shows such as X-Men, the animated series, in partnership with Marvel Entertainment. They also had Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which was adapted from stock footage of a Japanese show called Super Sentai. In 1996, Fox Kids merged with Saban Entertainment, making shows like The Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man the animated series, but they were all cancelled because Marvel went broke. I think they bounced back. Saban Productions was sold to the Walt Disney Company and everything they made alongside it. They also bought all of Fox's international channels when the Walt Disney Company bought Fox Family in 2001, which was later called ABC Family. They produced and distributed many more Power Rangers shows alongside Digimon Tamers before shutting down Saban Entertainment, keeping the catalogue of their shows. Back to Fox Kids. The channel closed on September 7th, 2002 as they could no longer use the Fox branding and became Jetix. The reason Jetix was made was Disney wanted a slice of the interest of Japanese and American action animation. Jetix became a programming block in the US on ABC Family and Toon Disney. It aired action adventure shows, so Disney had its own version of Cartoon Network Toonami, which was a channel that aired Japanese and American action animation such as Astro Boy, Thundercats, Voltron, Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball, along with many other shows. However, Toon Disney and ABC Family does not exist outside of North America, so in August 2004, in the UK, the rest of Europe and in Latin America, the channel Jetix was created.
Fox Kids is becoming Jetix.
Next, I will be talking about shows that appeared on Jetix. Since I grew up in the UK, I will mainly be talking about the UK Jetix, but I will try and cover some international shows, so let me take you down memory lane. Here are some shows that appeared on the European and non-US Jetix.
Don't miss feature-length Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue next weekend on Jetix.
First on the list is Power Rangers. There are so many versions of Power Rangers that appeared on Jetix at the same time. It is crazy, such as Power Rangers Jungle Fury, Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Power Rangers Rescue, Power Rangers Time Force. I could go on, but I'm not going to. Power Rangers is a long-running franchise that started in 1993. The show revolved around different groups of teens that can morph into the Power Rangers to fight the forces of evil. There are over 20 series and movies, and sometimes they are in space. Other times they are fighting mutant dinosaurs. So it was hard to summarize the entire franchise, so I tried to give a very general recap of it. In every version, they're always go-go Power Rangering. Next we have Sonic X, which was a Japanese show that started in 2003 and ran until 2005 with 3 seasons and 78 episodes. The show starts with an explosion that sends Sonic and his friends to Earth. Personal opinion here, Sonic had time to stop that explosion, but was too busy messing about.
No, hold your fire!
He was meant to be saving Cream the rabbit, but he blew her up alongside all his other friends. My first introduction to Sonic TV show was Sonic Underground, which never got completed, and I am still salty about it. At least this show got an ending. Now we have The Tofus, which was a Canadian French show. I had never heard of it before doing this video. It was one of the more unique shows I found. It is about this family of environmentalists that move into a town called Boo Village and build a farm in the middle of a suburban area. It shows very much just the kids and parents arguing about the correct way to live their lives. They also have this rooster that is beefing with a mailman, and I found that funny. It was a satirical parody that ran for 2 seasons of 26 episodes from 2004 to 2005. 2005. Moving on to The Monster Warriors, which was another Canadian show I had never heard of, but it does seem very fun. The plot of the show is a disgraced filmmaker starts making monsters because what else are you going to do when your film career dies? He has this machine that brings movie monsters to life. It starts terrorizing the city. These 4 teens are put together at school to do a project on spiders, and the first monster they encounter is a spider. What a coincidence. For some reason, it's the responsibility of these 4 children to save Capital City, the place that they live. The show ran between 2006 to 2008 with 2 seasons of 52 episodes. Then we had Team Galaxy, which is one of the 3 marathon media shows we have on this list. It is also the start of shows about child labor and child endangerment. At least in Monster Warrior, the kids started by themselves. In this show, they are recruited. This show is about the 3 teens, Yoko, Josh, and Brett, who attend Galaxy High, a school that sends children out to fight space criminals to train them to be space marshals. The youngest main character is 10. Where is CPS when you need them? Team Galaxy is a Canadian, French, and Italian show that ran for 2 seasons with 52 episodes from 2006 to 2008. Next we have PXG, which was a show created for Jetix UK to cover gaming content. PXG actually stood for PlayStation, Xbox, and GameCube, Ripper Legend. They had many different segments, such as being in Japan, where they would get gaming news from Japan. They also had Mobile Madness to discuss popular mobile games. Next they had Console Kids, which was a review for games on the PlayStation, Xbox, and GameCube. Additionally, they had a segment for PC games called Easy PC, where they covered FPS, RPG, and RTS games. The show started in 2005 and ran until 2008. Next we have Martin Mystery, which is the second show on this list by Marathon Media. I have done a full video on this show, so you can go and watch that. Martin Mystery is about these 2 teens, Diane and Martin, along with their pet caveman. They travel around the world on missions given to them by the Center, this secret organization, to investigate supernatural threats around the globe. The show had 3 seasons with 66 episodes from 2003 to 2006.
Spies.
Looking for something?
The new series coming soon on Jetix.
And lastly, Totally Spies. If you've ever watched my channel before, you may be aware of my love of this show. This show might be the reason I hold Jetix so near and dear to my heart, because this is where I first watched a very crucial show to my childhood. Totally Spies, for those of you who don't know, is a French animated series created by Marathon Media, which has now changed its name, but that's what it was called then. The show started in 2001 and ran until 2013. The show was about the 3 girls, Sam, Clover, and Alex, who by day are just normal teenage girls but get sucked into a mission by this crazy old man to save the world every day of their lives. The show had 6 seasons and was so popular it even had a spin-off called The Amazing Spies. The show was recently rebooted and season 7 is airing now in France as I make this video. This show had over 182 episodes and counting, and I'm glad I discovered it on Jetix. It moved to Pop Girl when Jetix ultimately shut down. Now here are some of the shows that appeared on the US version of Jetix in the Jetix programming block. All these shows were made especially for Jetix on Toon Disney. Let's say we have Atom, which stood for Alpha Teen Odd Machine. In this show, a company called Lee Industry holds a competition to recruit a group of kids so that they can use them as human guinea pigs to test their dangerous gadgets. These 5 win the contest and get given the gadgets to fight evil criminals. This show seemed so unethical, and the big bad of this series is called Alexandra Payne, who can transfer his pain to others and is known for being ruthless, and they are sending children after him. Again, call CPS. The show ran for 2 seasons with 52 episodes that lasted from 2005 to 2007. Next we have a show with an unnecessarily long name, Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go. Was Super Robot Monkey taken? This was the first original show produced for Jetix. The show is set on the planet Sugar Zoom. The planet is mostly uninhabited apart from Sugar Zoom City. This is where this boy called Chiro lives. He discovers an abandoned robot one day and walks straight in it without a care in the world for his safety. Inside, he finds 5 robotic monkeys and gets given the power of the primate that gives him superpowers. They all become a team and fight a number of foes, but most importantly, this guy called the Skeleton King, who wants to free the Dark Ones and purge the planet. What a lovely fellow for this child to be fighting. The show lasted 4 seasons with 52 episodes between 2004 and 2006. Now we have Get Ed, which was the second original show that was produced for Jetix. This show is about this kid named Ed who works for a delivery company, and he uses his genetic enhancements that he got from an ancient alien technology to defeat people who try to steal packages, as well as commit identity theft and other cyber crimes. I wish Amazon cared as much as this kid. The show only lasted one season with 26 episodes from 2005 to 2006. Finally, we have Yin Yang Yo, which is the only show on this list that I had heard of from the American Jetix block. This show follows siblings Yin and Yang, who study a fictional form of combat called Wufu. Yin uses mystical abilities such as spellcasting and energy waves to defeat her opponents, whereas her brother Yang fights using physical martial arts and weapons. They both study Wufu under the guidance of Yo. They use Wufu to defeat multiple villains, and they argue about who has the better fighting style. All of these shows are set in ridiculous places with weird names, such as Landmark City, Progress City, and the planet Sugar Zoom. Some of these shows did appear on both North American and European Jetix. I am confused why it never became its own channel in the US. It just remained a programming block the entire time. Apparently, it cut into a lot of Toon Disney, which made the block very unpopular for a lot of people. There was also Jetix Plays, which used to be a preschool channel that used to be Fox Kids Play, that was rebranded to Jetix Play in 2005. It had shows such as Dennis the Menace, the inferior North American version, The Koala Brothers, Bob the Builder, Ham Taro, and a bunch of other shows, was ultimately replaced by Playhouse Disney in 2010. They also had Jetix Magazine, which was launched 9 months after the channel started in places that had the Jetix channel. They published new issues every month. The magazine came out in countries such as the UK, Bulgaria, the Netherlands, and Romania. The magazine contained puzzles, featured articles based on the Jetix shows and movies. It also had posters, prizes, and video games, alongside a free DVD. The first DVD contained Martin Mystery's first episode, It Came From the Bog, as well as Sonic X Pure Chaos. They had a monster truck. I have nothing else to say about that other than they had a monster truck with yin and yang on the side of it. Interesting. On a cruel day in August of 2009, the Jetix channel was gone from UK TV and the XD had risen. I vividly remember the day Jetix shut down. I remember turning the TV on to Jetix being gone and the place it used to occupy on my TV saying Disney XD coming soon. The thing that really annoyed me was the channel description that was there on the TV. In the blank space that my favourite channel, it said now, this channel is for boys. And little Kelby took that as an insult, that they stole her favourite channel and replaced it with something they did not want her to watch. To be fair, little me also had a problem with the channel Pop Girl because it said it was for girls, and again, I don't like being told what I should and shouldn't watch, so I had problems with both of those. Jetix ended so Disney could merge the Jetix programming block and the international Jetix channel together under one name. Eventually, I did get over my one-sided beef with Disney XD, and I watched some of it. Originals like Zeke and Luther, Kicking It, I'm in the Band, which very few people seem to remember, and Aaron Stone, which no one seems to remember, Pair of Kings, Phineas and Ferb. I vividly remember watching the first episode of Phineas and Ferb on Disney XD. It also had some of Jetix shows, such as Jimmy Two Shoes, American Dragon, Kid vs. Cat, that I never actually saw on the Jetix network, and my brain only associates them with Disney XD. As time went on, there were a lot of Marvel shows on Disney XD, such as The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Ultimate Spider-Man, Avengers Assemble, Hulk, The Agents of Smash. I vividly remember loving Hulk, The Agents of Smash, and Ultimate Spider-Man as a kid. What I have gathered from reading comments both from the time that Jetix was alive and on nostalgia forums, people's opinions on Jetix changed drastically depending on where in the world they are from. In the US, there are far more negative feelings associated with Jetix because it was seen as taking up space on Toon Disney, which was meant to be old Disney shows and movies, whilst in other parts of the world where it had its own channel, where people remember it fondly, those people being me. That will be all for this video. Tell me some of your favourite Jetix memories, and also tell me if you want me to do a deep dive into any of the shows that I mentioned, and I might do it. Goodbye!